What's up, happy people? I am Robert Arrington. This is Deer Meat for Dinner. And if you're new here, this is not a typical video. Typically, I'm in the woods or on the water, hunting, fishing, doing something outside. I bring it back, I catch it, I clean it, I cook it. That's kind of like what our life is all about. This month coming up in July, me, my crew, and my family, we're all gonna be down in the Florida Keys and we're gonna be doing a lot of fishing. And I'm constantly getting questions about what knot do you use? Well, I thought, let's do a video, what knot to use. What knot to use. I know how to tie a lot of knots, but this video is about showing you the knots that I use a lot and how to tie them right. That's a circle hook that we were using in Alaska catching halibut. And I'm using green paracord just so you can see. We're gonna start off with just a common Snell that I tie. Here's your line. Your line has to go in from the point. Follow the point. It's gonna go in that way, okay? Once it goes in, take your line, roll it around. Now you have a loop. See that? See that loop right there? Comes in and it makes a loop. Make sure you've got plenty of line to work with. And if I can teach any of you anything, understand how to hold your hands. If you can hold your hands properly, you can tie the knot properly. So with my two fingers here, I'm holding the front. Now, see this line? See how I've got it? That's your tag in. Take this piece and it's gonna go around the shank of the hook and it's gonna continue to just make loops around that, just like that. Now, see how I did that? I work from the back up towards the front. Now, you take that tag in there and you just pull it down, but don't pull it down tight yet. Push it up to where you want it. Okay, that's where I want it. Now, you hold your main line and your tag line and you set your knot. Now, I push it in, okay? Then, the harder you pull on that, now it's set. Very simple, very simple. Now you have your hook snelled properly. And see how this makes a perfect loop? The line is actually gonna guide that hook right to the corner of the fish's jaw. It's gonna ensure a perfect hook set, and you will be tight. And now on to the next knot to use. But before I do, I wanna give a couple of young guys that I met yesterday a really big shout out. They have these hook-on sunglass loops. I have to wear reading glasses. I'm constantly losing them. Well, without reading glasses, I couldn't tie these knots because I couldn't see what I was doing. I ran into them at a store. It was called Sportfish Outfitters here in Jupiter. They make these here in America. I told them I was gonna try them before I give them a shout out, but they're super soft. They're longer than all the others. They're like 19 inches long, so you can get them on and off with your glasses. But more importantly, they're super soft, like on your ears right here. This is a really soft silicone, so it goes on and off easy, and it doesn't hurt the side of your head. They did not pay me to do this. I just saw them in a store giving a pitch. I walked over, put them on my head. I liked them, and I said, you know what, boys? I'm giving you a shout out on Deer Meat for Dinner. So, hook. They're made in America. Let's make another what not to use. We're gonna continue with our circle hook. And I'm only using this because this is big. See, for you and for you, it's a big hook. The next knot that I use is a loop. So a Snell, I use a lot, but I use a loop just as much. So how do you make a loop? We call this in the sport fishing world a perfection loop. You're gonna make okay, here's your line. Make a loop. See how you're holding that? Again, it's all about how you hold your hands. Hold that loop. Now, your hook is sliding in the balance. Take your tag and go around this loop. See this? You just go around it. You see that? And then you take your hook and go through this. Now your knot is made. Now you just make it where you want it, okay? So I want mine to be about that big. You know you've tied this knot correctly if your tag end comes right out the side. Now, let me show you what this looks like when it's trimmed. And you can trim it short. If you tie any knot correctly, you don't need a long tag end, because if it's slipping at all, you didn't tie a good knot. Now that's a loop knot. Like, let's say you're fishing this bait in a kite, or you need this to work freely. A loop is a great way to do that. That is what we commonly refer to as a perfection loop. And now we're on to the next knot to use. This is probably my most common knot that I tie all the time. I mean, whether it's swivels, it doesn't matter. I tie a uni all the time. And a lot of people think they're tying a uni, but they're not. Here is how you tie a uni knot. Go through that eye. See there? This is the important part. This is your tag. Hold it in your hand right here. And just make a circle right back around. See how you've made a circle there? Then you don't go around the whole thing. See this right here? See where my finger's going? That's a loop. That's what you're going through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is plenty. See how nice that did? Wet it. It's going to cinch right down. Again, you don't have to leave a long tag there. See how pretty that is? Those are the only 3 knots that I ever tie when I'm connecting a lure, a jig, a hook, a swivel, anything. It's either a Snell, a loop, or a uni. So when you're watching any of our videos, or if you're out there fishing, perfect those 3 knots, and I guarantee you'll go a long way. Start with the uni knot. That's the most effective knot in the world. If you can perfect the uni knot, which is simple, you can then make every leader that I use. You can make everything yourself. The uni knot. And now what is the next knot to use? We've already figured out how to tie our knots to our hooks and our lures and our swivels. Now, how to connect monofilament or fluorocarbon to braid. The green line is going to represent our braided line. This is coming off of our reel. This is our braid or our main line. The red line is going to represent our leader. And this is the easiest, most effective knot I tie. So, comes down. You're gonna just double them up just like that. Grab it right in the middle. Okay, see how that is? Just grab it right in the middle. We're gonna tie a double uni. Pull enough slack on your main line. Just see how your finger is representing the knot. Pull enough space there that you can create a loop. See that? There's your loop. And go around both about 3 or 4 times. I mean, you can go more if you want, but you don't have to. See how that is? And that's going to pull down tight just like that. There you go. Now, on the adjacent side, you take your leader material. Make a loop the same way. See how I did that? See how I'm holding it with these back 2 fingers? And I'm holding the leader together with my front 2 fingers. Make your loop. Now, see I'm just holding it there? How you hold your line with your fingers is key. And then you're gonna go around that 3, 4, 5 times, whatever makes you happy. Some people think 7 is the magic number. Whatever floats your boat. And then just grab the back of it right there and just There you go. But you're not really cinching it down too tight yet. Pull that one to there, pull that like that. Okay, so you have red to red, pull that. Green to green, pull that. Cut it very short right here. Very short right there. There you go. And it will tie down tight. See that? That is a perfect line-to-line knot. This is all simple stuff. I don't care if you're fishing in your back pond, just with a tiny little hook trying to catch a bluegill. Use a uni knot. If you really want to get sophisticated, use a Snell or a loop knot. But just use these knots. You don't have to be proficient at all of them. Just figure out the knots that you like to use. The knots I just showed you, that's every knot that I use. And I know how to tie them well. I know when one will work and when the other one will work. Hey, and sometimes I try new things. Will this work better with a loop knot or with a Snell or with a uni knot? How am I getting the best hookups? How is this bait or how is this lure performing correctly? I'm constantly learning, trying to be the best at what I do. And you know what? I want to tell you, thank you so very much for being a part of this. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. If you're excited to see our series that we're about to film down in the Keys, drop a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think we should do, because you know what? I am here for you, and I appreciate you, I love you, and guess what? I'm gone.